Wall Street really pushing the retailers, and then the retailers saying, hey, Sue, you got to do something about this. That's what we have seen in terms of, one of the big changes.
The one nice thing about Tradestone and Sue's background is it's only retail. That's who we were dealing with. A lot of these other solution providers, they were doing PLM solutions for automobiles and others. Tradestone was really focused on retail.
Streamline the product pipeline with merchandise lifecycle management.
We saw Tradestone really more as a merchandise lifecycle management solution than the traditional PLM solution. Certainly PLM was a component, but we were looking for something that could manage that whole transaction end to end. So something that could do global sourcing, the order management, and also the logistics and finance piece. So we really saw Tradestone as a holistic solution.
The time frame for implementation. So why was Scott so successful? 16 weeks. His projects would get done in 16 weeks. You know what? We don't want ERPs. 4 years, no effing way. If you tell me something, because you know what? Things blow up in 4 years. CIOs leave, CEOs leave. And so nobody owns the project. That is just too long. Anything over a year is, for me as an analyst, first of all, my price targets, everything's 12 months. So anything that looks beyond, and if you can take a 4-year project and divide it up into 1-year chunks, that's great. But only tell me about what's happening in like the next 12 months.
The implementation with Tradestone was outstanding. Just to give you an idea, just talk about some of the key aspects of that implementation. From a timing standpoint, we really focused around trying to roll out Tradestone to the businesses in their normal life cycle. The key component of that is to try and drive value, incremental value without, as Deb said, we didn't want this long drawn out implementation. The next, from our approach, we did not want to have a very sophisticated, we were focused on a timeline. We knew the offices were opening up, and so our focus was how do we sync our processes with the business and just focus on meaningful differences. We don't want to try and customize everything. Users. One thing we did a little bit differently is the solution stayed on the desktop of the sourcing group. It did not go out to the merchandising area. And so that really improved our adoption, allowed the rollout and the change management to go over much more smoothly. The fourth piece was we want to take a path of least resistance. So the one nice thing about Tradestone was we really could do a hosted or a SaaS solution. We did not have to implement it behind our firewall, which again, sometimes IT is not the easiest thing to work through, and so for us that was allowed us to get it up fast. Configuration, we used an agile approach. So rather than deploying the whole solution to specific areas, we really said, let's take pieces of their solution and let's roll it out by category. So literally in 4 months, we had this solution up. And the other key piece of it was customization. We didn't have any.
Those who are moving with sophisticated partners, such as a Tradestone, I think that gives us confidence that they're kind of moving with companies there that have knowledge of the countries and the manufacturers and whatnot. Where we get concerned is when they're doing it sometimes just completely on their own. And literally they'll be like, oh yeah, we flew to Indonesia today and we're walking around and trying to figure out what factories to work with. That does concern us a bit. But when they're working with a trusted partner like Tradestone, I think that makes us feel a little bit better.
Tradestone is well positioned to help us. They certainly have helped us. We expect to be close partners with them going forward.